and I've been like that on Clubhouse too. So all I'm saying is that let him take the L by being the asshole, okay? You don't have to sit there and take it to a place where it's going to distract people.
Kitty, this is the death threats against Jane and many other young women on this app. So until you actually hear him using vulgarity and profanity and sociopathic death threats, as well as defaming me, I would just say, hold your opinions until you actually hear the videos.
Fair. That's fair. And then Brad, if you listen to the replay, if that's really where you go, especially you can say what you want to say to John, but to a woman, I mean, I don't ever bring up, and I think it's sad and it's horrible about his wife. I would never bring up that, especially her as a woman, and then to put her down and to criticize her and wish harm on her. The fact that you would do that, Brad, if you listen to this, it's not just an injustice of your personal character, but it shows like a weakness in everything that is good that you do stand up for. So don't. Just stop. I don't care what the reasoning was, where John pushed you over the edge, because I know he's a smart ass sometimes. Just don't.
I guess I'm stirring the pot. You know what? Lord might be right. Okay, we're going to invite Lord back up to continue the roast of John Kitover. Go ahead, Lord.
I'm amazed. It's like, you tell me you're running for Congress. Nothing about the way that you move or like the things that I'm hearing coming out of your mouth sound presidential. You know what I'm saying?
It's not about running for president, dude.
Respectfully,
bro. I'm not running for president, bro. Respectfully, I'm running for Congress, Lord.
Respectfully, you sound like a bitch. And it's like somebody that I want to run for Congress is somebody that I want to be a solid fucking man, a solid grown man. I don't like doesn't go around Clubhouse talking like a little bitch. You get what I'm saying? An adult.
No. Before John gets to go, now.
This man Clubhouse talking like a little bitch. You get what I'm saying? An adult.
No. Before John gets to go, now. Now you've awoken the dragon.
Dragging me, telling me some weird shit.
Hold up, John. Don't let me have this one. So, hey, Lord, you've made it very, very evident before you ever even had to give your age exactly what mental fortitude that you're using in order to use these fancy words about someone that you obviously probably, I don't even know how long you've been on Clubhouse, or if you know how to navigate, like, to tie your own shoes each day. But listen. I would rather trust someone that says grab her by the pussy than I would someone like Joe Biden. And if that's not diplomatic enough for you, if that doesn't work for you, Lord, someone who has to literally talk about overcompensating, someone who has to call himself Lord. I mean, like, I would hold more stock and more masculinity in someone that can actually call themselves by a name than something like Lord. It's like, really, what are you trying to do here? Grow the fuck up. Tell your mom you're sorry for whatever it was that you did last week. You want to come home and that your little prodigal son.
Nobody can respect that.
Yes, but the thing is
anybody like this to be a leader. Because you're a bitch.
So what jurisdiction? Well, first of all, what state do you? I'm sorry, I didn't stop myself. But he was calling you the B word, John, and I don't think that you're a bitch. But he did kind of talk like.
Well, see, Kitty, this is where projection comes into play. Where if somebody casts vulgar dispersions against you at 1 a.m. to tell me that I'm a bitch and have no self-confidence, is it really me or is it you? So that's the thing about projection, where especially when you cast dispersions on somebody, is it really worth your time to cast a dispersion on somebody and, slander them? It's a you problem. So maybe that has something to do with Brad Stauffenberger as well. Maybe we've learned something here this evening.
And the room I was just in, too. I mean, honestly, that's a key lesson for me. And I wouldn't have came in here so red hot. I think so. For sure. And if that little bitch happens to understand it.
I promise to you that I'm going to do a lot of the heavy lifting myself. And if you were here, I would take you up to Rockford and Peoria with me, and we would get the signatures to get on that March primary.
I'm working on getting up there, and if I can get more, I will. and I definitely will.
Oh, don't worry about the money.
If not, I'll get my family here because they will definitely be 100% backing you. And I don't know anybody on Clubhouse that considers themselves to have the same mindset and philosophy politically like you do. And yeah, Brad's one of them. A lot of things that you talked about, he talked about too.
I know there's a lot of things I agree with him on, but
he's so pissed off.
There's a lot of things I don't. I can just play for you. Go to Pepe's room that he just had, and you can hear what Brad. But yet he's got opinions on every senator and congressperson who's ruling the country. Meanwhile, he's a fucking claims manager at a children's hospital. He denies little kids their health insurance. So, or he's going to the health insurance companies and fighting for the children. I'm sure there's a lot of good things about Brad, but you know what? It doesn't matter if there's 99 good things and one bad thing. I would consider the one bad thing that he has done against me is drag me for 2 days and slander me and not even have a conversation. Just vociferously word vomit out slander and defamation for 2 days straight and make death threats against women. What kind of a man makes death threats against women all day long on a social audio? Somebody with a fucking probably brain clot. So, it's not a health problem. It's a personality problem. Maybe it's a traumatic brain injury from the war. I don't know.
Well, I don't want to talk about that. I don't even want to go there. It's PTSD from losing the strongest woman in his life. My phone is dying. John, take care of you. All right, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like to bring up their children or their deceased spouses, but that'll only take you so far in terms of sympathy with the campaign. It's just not going to happen. So, Mr. Tough Guy, I hope you like the unemployment line because you know what? You probably won't get unemployment when you get terminated for the crimes you're committing, the laws that you're breaking, the fact that you're not working, that you're here on Clown House talking all day long, Brad. If you try to drag down somebody, they might grab you and drag you down with them. So be careful, what you say, Brad. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to leave this room open and I hope you all have a good night. This is Texas Children's Hospital notified about Brad Stauffenberger.
I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou hast now is not thy husband, and that thou saidest truly. And the woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet.
Cohabitation. In other words, she's saying, how do you know this? How do you know this about me? How do you know that I've had all of these things all of
It was a campaign to elect candidate Congressman Kitover. I just want to say Clubhouse is incredibly pathetic. After having made many, many recordings of Clubhouse as well as X Spaces and having exclusive content versus actual intelligence versus people who are just wasting their time doing gossip and drama and stirring pots, it's such a huge fucking waste of time. It's unbelievable. So if you kick me from your pathetic little room and you think you're actually doing anything on this app, believe me, you're not doing anything. You're wasting your time. And that's the only message I have for you. So I'm waiting for Mojo's return so we can kick this campaign back off here on Clubhouse, because otherwise it's a total waste of time. And there's some pathetic ass people here who are wasting their time doing nothing. Just wanted to let it out, let everybody know my thoughts. How pathetic.
As well off as it was when you first got here. That's not the attitude. And if this is going to be reduced to an economic zone, then the republic cannot endure, right? Through history, we've seen.
When we get to
country, America came from those same people. America got wealthy and powerful because of the slave population that they had with them. And these slaves had created many over 5
Man, you give your ancestors too much credit, Lion, because it's called the industrial age. It's mass manufacturing and automation of mechanization. I want to roll here. Getting kicked from every room.
hey dude, where's home from?
But I think if he would have changed it, he would have called us. No, he wouldn't.
Listen, he know what the hell.
Hey, good evening, my fellow Americans. I'd like to make a request that you donate to the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover. I will put the link in the chat. I know Uncle Ruckus is good for $10 because Uncle Ruckus and I, we go way back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there when he escaped the monkey house known as Talking Apes and liberated himself from a group of idiots. Morons, you might call them. Stupid people. Idiots. Uncle Ruckus freed himself from living with morons on this app, but I see he's exchanged.
I'm not fucking doing that shit.
Why don't come in during the day?
I'm just saying that Uncle Ruckus lost one group of morons and apparently found another group of idiots.
So as a man, I'm asking y'all because I don't have a weenie. Is that satisfying just to be able to just like fucking just pay for pussy for the rest of your life? Or
well, shit, I mean, tricking. Yeah, I mean, tricking. I mean, different men have different meanings to trick. So you'd have to, because you got some stupid niggas. You take a woman to dinner. How are you tricking? So you know, you really have to see like what he means.
I thought it was for power trip purposes. Like I could buy you if I wanted to.
I mean, different men, like there's different men have different meanings of it. You know, as a man over there, like if he's in Africa, tricking and the dollar goes far, the nigga might just be buying drinks and food, right? You in America, I mean, it's just every man's different. So I don't, you know, you'd have to really ask him. You know, some niggas might be, I don't know. But we've been hearing all this manosphere talk today, really for the last 5 days. So my question is this, at the top, is the manosphere, is it anti-black women or is it about men's empowerment? I hear different things, right? I hear that it's about brothers getting together and trying to become better, talking about finance and fitness and being good husbands and good fathers. And then I hear some of the rhetoric, which to be honest, is a little bit negative, right? So, and I'll be honest with you, if you ask me what I think that whatever good can be done gets overshadowed by the negativity, right? So to me, whatever good is being done, I think that it's a little bit
upset a few people.
Self-destructive, because it's hard for you to, if the goal is to do well and the goal is to make a profitable community and to be positive and to mentor young men and old men, I think the negativity will get in the way, if that makes any sense. But that's my opinion. But to the title, is it about, is it about anti-black women? Are we against women? Or are we about just the upliftment of men? I'd like us to talk about it. Tell me how y'all feel. Everybody's opinion is welcome. Mamiya, if you'd like to come on the stage, we'd love to have you. I'm sure you have some comments on this, so you're welcome to come up.
Well, I was always taught that a nation could never exceed its weakest link, and this was kind of like a NOI talking point. You will always be judged by the state of your women as a nation, no matter what. Especially if you are to be the leaders of that nation. So you can't have one without the other. You have to work in tandem. And so I just don't see.
Well, thankfully, I'm not a member of the nation.
I
got about an hour.
I wasn't saying you were.
The world comes on.
Okay, yeah. I was just speaking on those were some of the teachings that I was taught. Like you never exceed, like even as a parent, you are only as good of a parent as you are of the children you bear as fruit. So like that kind of concept.
Well, that's nice to know. Yeah, I'm good for about an hour to Strange New Worlds comes on.
Okay, so I guess you're one of the leaders of the manosphere. So is it about anti-black women? Or is it about black male empowerment?
As always, the devil's in the details, isn't it, John? I would say that it's definitely black male empowerment, no question about that. But with regard to being anti-black women, I would say it's critique of black American women. I would say it's a critique. And I think the critique is long overdue. And I think when we look at the evidence, you can see it. So You know, look, black women have critiqued black men for decades. Black men have taken it on the chin. Sometimes I don't even disagree with it. But you know, the ladies are going to have to get used to the fact that you know, it's our turn, and we're not going back, as your standard bearer last year said. We're not going back, and you just have to get used to it. You're going to have to get used to brothers expressing themselves and reflecting on whether or not what they say has a ring of truth to it. Putting on your big girl panties and getting on with the business of upping your game.
It doesn't seem like that you gotta get used to it because all those manosphere dudes are dying. One of them got ball cancer. Kevin Samuel died. They're not even surviving. So ain't nobody about to get used to it. No one's listening to that. No one is. And with me, I don't give a fuck if you gonna put some old ass video. Everybody know how I look. I never abduct any. I never lied about anything about who I am and where I'm from and what I do. But I got you, homeboy. Unlike you, I'm not no broke bitch, and I guarantee you, I got you. Okay, so you ain't got to worry about that. So don't sit up there and fucking be posting no old ass video, lying and saying, "Oh, this is I that's who I am. I don't give a fuck." Like that was such a long fucking time ago, and your woman was fat, and she fucking lost the weight just like the fuck I did. So you need to shut the fuck up. Cause you the one who was talking shit about big women, and you had a big woman, and you was the one talking about baby mamas, and your woman was a baby mama. That's fucking crazy. All the shit. You the liar, and then you're the liar. You're the liar talking about you guys were at the Four Seasons. That's where y'all all stayed, and Shannon just said y'all was at the MC because the Four Seasons was too expensive. No. Okay, here's a few rooms at the Four Seasons. But you act like all the conclave members were all balling and staying at the Four Seasons. You be just lying so much.
I didn't say that.
Yes, the hell you did. Everybody heard that.
I said that. I said I stayed there. And with regard to my lady friend, I know you want to talk about her a lot. No surgery. Didn't need to go under the knife. She did it the old-fashioned way.
But what was you doing? Okay, and I'm proud, and I'm happy that she did that. What were you doing? What were you doing? Don't worry about how. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I did it, long as it got done. It doesn't matter how I did it, as long as it got done. But the fact that you sit up there, no, it don't.
Casts vulgar dispersions against you. Generally, that shows their lack of self-confidence, because if your claim is that I'm a bitch and I have no self-confidence, but you're coming here at 1 a.m. to tell me that I'm a bitch and have no self-confidence, is it really me or is it you? So that's the thing about projection, where especially when you cast dispersion on somebody, is it really worth your time to cast a dispersion on somebody and, slander them? It's a you problem. So maybe that has something to do with Brad Stauffenberger's. Well, maybe we've learned something here.
And the room I was just in, too. I mean, honestly, that's a key lesson for me. And I wouldn't say so red hot. I think so. Sure. And if that little bitch happens to
I'd expect Friday
going to be somewhere where you can find it. I don't have it on yet.
And thank you for your campaign contribution, Kitty. It will not go to waste. I promise you chose to get on that March primary.
I'm working on getting up there, and if I can donate more, I will. I definitely will.
Oh, don't worry about the money.
If not, I'll get my family.
I'm not going to let you get away with threatening to kill my friend Jane or Bima or Monica. You're no gentleman. You're just a crude, paganistic Viking. And Friday, you'll probably be an unemployed, crude, paganistic Viking. As I said earlier, good luck. God bless you. Across this room, anybody be sure to retweet. Click that link above. Retweet. So the hospital knows for sure that they see it. I'm going to let this room stay open all night so people can retweet and enjoy. Oh, look, it's Lord. Hey, Lord.
aspersions against you, generally that shows their lack of self-confidence. Because if your claim is that I'm a bitch and I have no self-confidence, but you're coming here at 1 a.m. to tell me that I'm a bitch and have no self-confidence, is it really me or is it you? So that's the thing about projection, where especially when you cast aspersions on somebody, is it really worth your time to cast a dispersion on somebody and slander them? It's a you problem. So maybe that has something to do with Brad's self-worth as well. Maybe we've learned something here.
And the room I was just in, too. I mean, honestly, that's a key lesson for me. I don't know when you came in here so red hot. Yeah, I think so. For sure. And if that little bitch has, I'm just saying, if you listen to the replays on this, we don't care about your vote. But for everybody else that wants to, like, help, all proceeds to, well, the link will be somewhere where you can find it. I don't have it on.
And thank you for your campaign contribution, Kitty. It will not go to waste. I promise to you that I will do a lot of the heavy lifting myself. And if you were here, I would take you up to Rockford and Peoria with me, and we would get the signatures to get on that march and go primary.
I'm working on getting up there, and if I can donate more, I will. And I definitely will.
But don't worry about the money.
If not, I'll get my family, because they will definitely be 100% backing me. And I don't know anybody on Clubhouse that considers themselves to have the same mindset and philosophy politically like you do. And yeah, Brad's one of them. A lot of things that you talk about too.
I know, there's a lot of things I agree with him on, but
he's pissed off.
there's a lot of things I don't. I can just play free. Go to Pepe's room that he just had. You can hear what Brad's political positions are. He talks a lot of shit. He thinks he's hot shit and he knows everything. The guy is in no position of power, but yet he's got opinions on every senator and congressperson who's ruling the country. Meanwhile, he's a fucking claims manager at the Children's Hospital. He denies little kids their health insurance. So before he's going to the health insurance companies and fighting for the children, I'm sure he has done against me. He has dragged me for 2 days and slandered me. And that, not even have a conversation, just vociferously word vomit out slander and defamation for 2 days straight and make death threats against women. What kind of a man makes death threats against women all day long on social media? Somebody with a fucking probably brain clot. So, it's not a health problem, it's a personality problem. Maybe it's a traumatic brain injury from the war. I don't know.
Well, I don't want to talk about that. I don't even want to go there. Maybe it's PTSD from losing the strongest woman in his life. My phone is dying. John, take care of you. All right? You can hear me?
A lot of people like to bring up their children for their deceased spouses, but that'll only take you so far in terms of sympathy with the campaign. Like the Congressman John Kitover. It won't work on my ears. Because when you make that
Brad spends 50 years a week talking politics in Clubhouse, where he breaks the law by making regular death threats and defaming and slandering candidate John Kitover.
So, Mr. Tough Guy, I hope you like the unemployment line, because you know what? You can get terminated for the crimes you're committing, the laws that you're breaking, the fact that you're not working, that you're here on Clubhouse talking. If you try to drag down somebody, they might grab you and drag you down. So, be careful what you say, Brad. That's all I'm saying.
taxes. Everybody gets taxed. It's safe space for narcissistic black people. Hey y'all, I ain't black, but I'm narcissistic. Can I be a part of the black narcissist party?
So weak. Are you a narcissist? How are you a narcissist?
I'm
You're
filing.
military?
I'm filing a lawsuit against the Clubhouse user who slandered me for the past 2 days. Does that make me a narcissist?
How are you gonna do that when you don't even know who they really are?
Oh, I know who they are. I got their LinkedIn and everything. I know the hospital they work at. They're fucked.
Wow.
Yeah, let me put it on my PTR. You could take a look at this asshole, because he's a narcissist son of a bitch. Let me show you his face, his ugly fucking face. Look at this
I might know.
ugly motherfucker. Ugly motherfucker.
Is he really white? I don't know. He might be white.
He an ugly.
I don't know.
He's an Irish beer drinking, shepherd's pie eating
Oh, he look like he ain't about
motherfucker.
shit though. He on Clubhouse?
Oh yeah, his name is Brad
Where he at on
Stauffenberg.
Clubhouse?
Oh, he all around. He comes up here. He makes death threats to women on the app all the time.
Oh, where I be at? Mango, where these people be at on Clubhouse? I never see that part. Is there like another site? You know what? Now there's multiple sides. Oh, wait. Shite. I'm convinced that Clubhouse is segregated now. It might be. Because I barely ever stumble. I was like, where do white people go? I would never see a roof somewhere. Yeah, they used to have a lot of rooms before. They did. I used to be in a little group, isn't it? Me too. R&B on the stage. They had a stage on that was what is it called? When you're impromptu comedy, it's a name for it. I don't know why I just went out about it. It's in that little rubber light room. Yeah, and now all they have is a lot of these rooms that you're just listening to like some video. Yeah. Those are a lot of the rooms I see now. They even used to have a real estate motherfuckers on here. Yeah, they did.
We back. We back.
Oh, hey, Serendipity, click the link above. I've decided to notify Brad's management team at the Texas Children's Hospital in Houston that he comes out here and makes death threats and libels and slanders me. So be sure to retweet. Thanks, Serendipity. And if you talk to Brad, make sure you let him know I've notified his management at Texas Children's Hospital.
Very quick and easy.
Admittedly, the legislation that Rokana and I
He's not buying protection for Palestine, right? He's not buying.
A good point too. He's going to get some ROI on his on his money he's putting in.
Yeah. So again, like he invested in all these district attorneys for the last several years all around the United States. These district attorneys, when there's all this chaos going on around the United States, and he's been doing a lot of things in Europe and all around the world with his Open Society Foundation. I just want people to think: when have you ever known George Soros to not make money on his investments or not get something in return for for his activism? Especially when he's putting tens of millions of dollars into it continuously for several years. What's he buying? He's not buying, Palestinian solidarity or a state for Palestine, right? He's buying the deflection of blame away from Jews. He's buying protection of Jewish.
Truly is at times, because Soros is so demonized, rightfully so. But a lot of people, especially the MAGA people, a lot of people don't realize he's even a Jew. They just default to Soros, rightfully so. But then it's on George Schwartz. He changed his name too. Did he really? Of course. Absolutely. Of course. He changed his name. Do you really believe his story that when he was 12 or 13 years old, was relied on him, little 12, 13-year-old, to point out whose wealth they should strip? People actually buy into that bullshit story. Anyway, just like the whole adding to the lies they tell him, because he was so smart, or his dad was so smart, they were able to change up his identity and get him an ID saying he was Christian. That's why they entrusted him, and they needed his intelligence to figure out who's who in the concentration camp so they could steal that person's wealth. And he still repeats that bold-faced lie to this day. So it's just incredible to me that gaslighter like Soros have done nothing but cause havoc and currency destruction and destroy economies by betting against various currencies like the pound, of course, currencies in Thailand and Cambodia to destroy those economies. And he's proud of it. He's proud of the fact that he's reinvested his wealth into NAACP or BLM and all these divisive movements just so he can create race wars. And then, sit there and laugh. And then they'll also hire instigators to go and, infiltrate these college campus rallies and turn them into riots. So that's how they're winning. Yeah, absolutely. He's driving to our field room and he destroys them. He gets his guys in place. Can you remind everybody who our Treasury Secretary is? The lovely guy? Mr. Scott Ludwig. Scott Disick. Yeah, Scott Disick. He was his prodigy. One of them. He's got many. Yeah, worked for him for 40 years. I think he still does. Helped crash the homosexual too, I believe, right? Yeah, I think he's a Jew. I thought I was 100% correct on that. Not 100% correct. I think he's a Jew. I know he's a homosexual. He's a homosexual. I'm not sure if he's a Jew. He's probably not a Peter Thiel. Yes, exactly. He's not a Peter Thiel. So he's a Jew in spirit who's a homosexual that adopted 2 kids like Dave Rubin through surrogacy. And he helped Soros crash the pound in 1992. As, again, like I said all the time, the dollar's lost 97% of its buying value. And like we were talking about with Sam earlier, and as Jews say, our future lies with the rising east, and China's got all these new bridges, these new transportation systems, everything. As Americans, there's drug addicts all over the street. And I just want people to be consistent. It's like they hate when Soros people are in Biden's administration, rightfully so. But when Trump has the guy that's in charge of our fucking monetary system, being a Soros guy, it's probably not a good idea. Never mind the fact that, again, he has specialties in crashing dollars and pounds and all that as we're on the way to probably crashing the dollar. But I digress for that for now.
I just want to reiterate because I get a massive knowledge dump. It's very twisty, turny, and involved. I just want people to understand this. There is a movement that opposes Israel that's called anti-Zionism. Right? If you're an intelligence agency, if you're a government, if you're the government of Israel, if you're the intelligence agencies over Israel, and there's this worldwide movement that's against you, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to manage that? Well, obviously, they're going to engage subversion, infiltration, the best way to defeat the opposition is to lead it ourselves, right? This is classic intelligence on trying to get control of that opposition and lead it themselves so that it can't amount to anything. Of course that's what they're going to do, right? Of course that's what they're going to do. You have to understand that. You have to be able to see that. And it turns out that, that entire anti-Zionist space, you got, people like Miko Khaled, whose dad was a general in the IDF. He wrote the 6-Day War in 1967, who then all of a sudden becomes anti-Zionist, and his son is now an anti-Zionist running around calling Israel white supremacy. you know. And they, you know, so it's just, we have to get sophisticated here and understand that, of course, they're going to try to contain these things. Of course, they're going to try to get control of them, right? So that they won't amount to anything. They're going to try and steer them. Well, how are you going to do that? Right? How are you going to do that? Well, it turns out there's 6 major anti-Zionist organizations in the world, and 4 of them are led and funded by Jews. So, it's like, hello, McFly, you know. And, oh, and by the way, they use all the anti-Zionist rhetoric that Soviet intelligence used during the Cold War, and the KGB, that was being run by Jews on the Committee for Anti-Zionism, right? So you have anti-Zionist Jews in the Soviet Union leading the anti-Zionist movement, and now you have this Jewish-led anti-Zionist movement that is like blaming everybody but Jews for Israel, right? So put the pieces together, people. You've got to see these pieces and see how they fit together.
QAnon and the White Hats are going to save us, just like Operation Trust with the Bolsheviks and the White Army is going to save us.
There you go.
Everybody sit back and relax. You're all good to go.
Yes.
Control Hillary's in Guantanamo.
And by the way, this goes back to 1920 in Winston Churchill's famous op-ed, Zionism versus Bolshevism, struggle for the soul of the Jewish people. These 2 factions of Jews have been duking it out over whose vision for worldwide Jewry is better. The Zionists or the Bolsheviks, the left-wingers versus the right-wingers, right? And they've been duking it out for decades, right? And so but Zionism is mostly one. You still have this small, you know, sincere faction of, you know, probably rank and file Jewry who does believe in anti-Zionism, and they absolutely do want a 2-state solution, and a lot of them it's because they fear for their family and their Jewish family and mother in Israel. Like they want peace so that their brethren in Israel are no longer in danger, right? That's part of it too. My point is that these movements have been shanghaied, they've been subverted, they're being controlled, money's being funneled, NGOs are involved, the ADL's involved, strategic paid influencers and bot operations are involved, and they've taken control of it. And it's just a very, very small group of Jews doing it. But the returns are massive because you have like billions of people in the world that are, every day you get on Twitter or on the other social media platforms and you hear about how Israel's a bunch of settler colonialism from Europe. And these Israeli Islamo-fascist Nazis and these silent Nazis. And Netanyahu's like Hitler.
Oh my God, I hate to check
This
that.
is all.
That's the nickel one.
Yeah, and if you blame Jews, then they'll attack you. They'll attack you for being anti-Semitic. Well, it's not all Jews, you know. And so they're getting wild ROI on this anti-Zionist operation.
They'll sacrifice their own like October 7th. And the festival.
Yeah, who cares? What's a few milk and eggs, right? Big deal. They do this, right? They're ruthless, even to their own, you know, greater cause. So my point is, people, you have to see that you have to know that intelligence agencies and governments are going to try to control the opposition against them. How are they going to do it? I'm explaining to you how they're going to do it, and I'm showing you that Soviet intelligence did it already. Like Jews and Soviet intelligence already did it. So they literally do it, right? And it's very useful because it blames white people and Christians and Europeans for all the problems instead of Judaism and Jewish supremacy. And it splits the anti-Zionist left from uniting with the anti-Semitic right. Now, if you can imagine what would happen if the left and the right come together against worldwide organized Jewish supremacy. But we can't, because we're fighting with each other. One side's anti-white, one side's anti-Muslim, one side's anti-Israel, one side's anti-Semitic. It's like they can't come together, right? Claudia, they wanted us to vote for not Claudia Sheinbaum, but Jill Stein, the anti-Zionist Jill Stein. Well, what did she want to do? She wanted to amnesty all the tens of millions of illegals in the United States and establish more immigration courts and bring in more immigrants and like just continue this flood of demographic transformation into the United States. This is what anti-Zionist Jews, you know, they show me an anti-Zionist Jew and I'll show you a Jew who's anti-white and wants to flood country with multiculturalism, right? Show me a Zionist Jew and they want to constantly take the United States to war. You know, and anyway, so we just can't come together because, you know, like Sean King, he's doing this great work exposing this pedophile in Vegas, right? But Sean King is this lefty shit-lib anti-white guy, right? There's a white guy posing as a black guy because he hates white people and he pushes anti-whiteism, right? Anti-capitalism, all these types of things. And so they're like these shit-lit lefties. I'm saying that just, quote unquote. And it's just really distasteful to people on the right, the anti-Semite nationalists on the right. They don't want to have anything to do with those people because, they're anti-white, they're anti-American, and they're communists. Why are they communists? Because for decades, the Soviet Union was like seeding these groups and these movements with communism. Right? That's what they were doing. So we're still reaping the fruits of like decades of, global Soviet intelligence operations. And in universities, and international jury is a vector that they worked through while the Soviet Union existed. They were working through international jury. Soviet Union goes away. Guess what? International jury still exists, right?
I can't tell you how many people I saw the other day, including that faggot cop Drogo, who's still buying the QAnon fucking psyop somehow and push it. Although he's got to be paid to do it, like Liz Broken. But he was saying, "You guys really gonna
absolve Trump of any blame for that prosecutor?"
Yeah, remember? Yeah.
Tom Alexandrovich was released just through the local DA and had nothing to do with Trump's intervention acting on behalf of Israel. I mean, that's just not far gone these. They'll never hold Trump accountable for his clear guilt involved in allowing for this Jewish pedophile to escape justice. And it's not even the first time. I mean, this has happened routinely. Sam, real quick before I forget, we had a subversive in here earlier. He was trying to chase after you, thinking that you're trying to get him canceled. I didn't know anything about him. You were tied up at the time. We dropped him anyway. And he's likely listening in the tunnels. I think you know who he is. His name starts Andrew. I think you know who he is.
Andrew Meyer.
Yeah, I've never heard of her. I don't know who you're talking about. Never heard of her.
Let's not presume the gender. Okay, well, if you never heard of her, then he's probably got you mistaken with someone else. But he came up gunning for you.
But don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's the going, yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about. I didn't hear anything about that. I don't even know who it is.
See no evil. Okay, well, let's clarify. I'm sure the tunnel rats will be relieved now. Yeah, maybe you can get some tips from how to manage without taking the APAC money. He's trying to make it to Congress. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm not taking APAC money, unlike Darren LaHood. I mean, if APAC called and said, hey, here's $2,000 like they do to Darren LaHood every year, I mean, you know what? Maybe I would take that money to run attack ads against Darren LaHood. But speaking of Andrew Meyer, don't tase me, bro. I know Andrew Meyer from Clubhouse, where I made a lot of recordings of Andrew Meyer talking about 9/11 and how it was an inside job and a huge cover-up. So he reported my YouTube account and got my YouTube account clipped. Andrew Meyer. So anyways, but yes, I am running for Congress here in the state of Illinois in the 16th district against Darren LaHood, and I'm waging war against all kinds of dragons that just appear out of nowhere and attack you all day long, try to defame you, slander you, libel you. It's unbelievable, the pieces of shit in this world who call themselves Trump MAGA or Republicans. They basically, people have a lot of personal problems, and I think a lot of people project them onto you as you talk to them in social audio spaces. So I think that's probably one of the issues that goes on in the social audio ecosystem, is that there's a lot of projection and very little actual information. Nobody reads books. Nobody does grok queries. Everybody is literally just like on the warpath to project and attack. That's what I have observed over the past 48 hours.
Yeah, John, I'm not sure if you heard Diligent Space earlier. You had Congressman Massey on, and he mentioned that he's demanded for the Epstein files to be released. He had a personal conversation with Pam Bondi himself. He said something will get released. There's a news release that something might get disclosed. Who knows? It'll likely be redacted anyway. What are your thoughts on the Epstein files?
Yeah, I heard the whole Thomas Massey interview with Diligent Citizen today. I recorded it, created all kinds of clips on YouTube. He says September 3rd is when they're back into Congress. And I think he said end of September, mid-September, they're going to have their press conference on the front steps of Congress. But he said he's also going to do a drop, that they have some juicy gossip, which is going to cause a major problem. Some type of poison pill that he says he's going to drop. So, I just, I just think all this stuff is going to get redacted and you'll never see it, because I guarantee you that Jeffrey Epstein was playing both sides of the fence. He was doing espionage, first of all, for himself, for his own personal power.
and his own personal blackmailing and financial arrangements. And then B and C, he was probably, or even D, he was probably doing intelligence gathering and payoffs with not just Israel, but also the UK and Prince Andrew, etc. So Epstein was the man in terms of carrying out international espionage, blackmail, manipulation on behalf of a lot of people and also himself. The guy was worth $800-something million.
Real quick, John, 1 second. What in the glitch is going on? True. Do you see how many people are in the space? It says 2,780 for me. I don't know what's about.
We're getting botted. Bot attack. I mean, that's what happens when you rely on an Israeli company check to deal with bots. You know, they'll attack the space they don't like. So.
What the fuck? What the?
Welcome to the Jewish bot attack.
What do you do? Doesn't that put you to the
4,000 now, yeah. Damn bots.
It's fine. Don't let it bother you. It'll pass. Comes and goes.
I mean,
Sorry,
I would go. I would go as far as to say that Epstein may have even been involved with who was the owner of the Twin Towers?
Larry Silverstein.
I would be. Well, I don't know what the connection is there, or if he has any. But if Epstein is that high up, and he had
Lutnick, Epstein, and of course, what's his name? Larry Silverstein all knew not to go to the tower that day.
Well,
you're aware that Epstein's neighbor was Howard Lutnick. They lived right next door to each other in New York. And we know Lutnick knew not to go to work that day, even though 658 of his employees did. They got wiped out. And because he had to take his kid to kindergarten, supposedly. And Silverstein, he had to go to the dermatology appointment. Epstein likely wasn't around at the time. Well, he was busy doing his human trafficking or whatever it is he was up to that day. So, yeah, there's absolutely a connection there. And plus, they were both bankrolled by Les Wexner, in addition to Mike Jeffries. I'm not sure if you've read about my thread on him. Are you aware he's being prosecuted for human trafficking as well? Through his connection to, well, he was the CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, which is owned by L Brands. That's, of course, Lex Wexner controls. He's also Jewish, by the way.
I never knew Epstein lived next to, or Lutnick lived next to Epstein for 23 to 24 years.
Next door, from 98 till...
What?
And his home was gifted to him, by the way, for $10 and considerable offering. And then he took out a loan for $4 million, which he paid back in 2018. So Wexner gifted Lutnick a home. What do you think of that, John?
Huh. Sir, Heidi, did you get up here? Heidi, when you disconnect, I'll send you a mic because she can't get
There are 7,600 listeners. So what kind of swarm attack would you call this on the next 9,000 listeners? There are 9,000 listeners now. This is incredible.
Everybody, just go follow me. Everybody, if those people are real, they'll go follow me.
Yeah, follow all the speakers, Mr. Bot, so we don't have to pay for fake followers like everybody else.
What the hell does that do, though? Does it, discredit the space or something? And now Heidi can't connect.
I think if everybody leaves and joins at the same time, it kind of gets reported and the space can get knocked or something like that.
Yeah, it can crash the space.
It's a DDoS. They're trying to DDoS the room.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But, X is a big platform, and chances are 10,000 listeners won't crash it.
They don't like it when we start exposing their intelligence operations.
No, it's when they join at the same time or leave at the same time that it sometimes crashes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they bought these bots. It doesn't cost very much to do it. But I think they have an allergy towards exposure of the Epstein files because they really want to move past it without any accountability. So,
but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if it's probably not even Israel that's doing this. You do realize it's probably our own government that is trying to DDoS the room right now.
Or some of their Indians as well, the programmers they hire, because you realize Israel does outsource a lot of its IT services to India. They'll do their dirty work and bidding for a small price. Their labor's a lot cheaper, so it could be the
where do you think all these vaccines came from for COVID-19? I saw videos of Indian manufacturers that made tens of billions of dollars from U.S. taxpayer money to poison us with vaccines manufactured in India.
Well, I mean, but let's be honest. There was the Jewish-run Pfizer that made over $100 billion just in 2022 alone, just from the mRNA vaccine alone. Of course, they've been criminally fined, but nobody's been fined for the COVID vaccine. And there was talks that I believe he's Moderna as well. He was the CMO there who was also pushing the vaccine. And his name Yaro was also pushing him as well. So
He's got one in the he does things fucking up. Yeah, true.
I'm gonna ask Brock.
Look at it, Dr. Stanley Plotkin. He's the father of vaccines. You know, he's been in the game for over 4 decades.
How you can do
it? Made the claim that none of these vaccines have been tested for safety, and yet they're still marketed as if they are safe, even though they cause all kinds of side effects. They've only been widespread in use since the 1970s. We went from like 3 or 4 vaccines to over 70.
You know what's crazy?
It's insane.
Yeah, 72 of them. Which, like I said all the time, people that don't know, and all the bots you can hear it. If you give your children all 72 quote-unquote vaccines, because again they're not, because they've never been tested and they're fucking not vaccines, they don't work. You're giving them 13,000 micrograms of aluminum, 600 micrograms of mercury, which is fantastic, and 200 chemicals, including baby aborted fetal cells, formaldehyde, like egg yolk or whatever, so then you get all these allergies and you're stuck in big pharmacia your whole life. And then the way they juke the stats too, I found this out last week, like they did with the pandemic with the mRNA vaccine, they said you technically weren't vaccinated until 2 weeks after your second vaccine. So if you fucking just pulled a Tiffany Dover and died after your first quote-unquote vaccine, I call it quote-unquote because it's obviously not, especially that one's literally not, got voted in the 9th District of 9th Circuit Court in D.C. like a year and a half ago said that it's not a vaccine, it's gene therapy, aka gene editing. But if you were after your second dose of mRNA, if you died within 14 days, you were not, or had a side effect basically within 14 days, it did not count. You're not counted as vaccinated. And they do the same thing for the childhood vaccines. If you die within the I believe it's first 2 weeks, you are not considered. It's not considered a death. Because the number is crazy. It's like, I'll have to find it, but I don't know if I have it. It's like something like 70 to 76% of SID, sudden infant death syndrome, happens in the first 2 weeks. But they don't count it as a death because they just juke and rank the stats because they say that you're not vaccinated because they know that it's going to kill people within your children within the first 2 weeks, babies in the first 2 weeks. So that's how they rig it. And then people nobody knows better and they're still fucking poisoning their children every day. All right, everybody's trying to figure it out.
Thanks for that super chat. I'll read out what you wrote. Thank you for the space, the hard work every day you and Joanne put in. Since you're here a couple of days a week, you keep challenging anyone who cares about the future of humanity in America to go to the nest and toss Truth $5 for the spaces threads he does daily. We gotta help our own. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support, and I'll keep doing it. The support's great, but I feel an obligation to expose as much truth as possible. Hopefully till the day, while my account's still active, I'll keep at it. Appreciate the support, though. Thanks for that vote of confidence as well.
You're welcome. And everybody, go up there, put your money where the mouth is, in front of the nest. I won't go on a rant like the other day because I don't want to sound like fucking, I don't want to have people hit me up saying, well, you and Truth Teller's putting you up to this. No, obviously he's fucking not. And now, whatever, it doesn't matter. People already know. But you already explained it the other day. You gotta help our own, put our money where your mouth is. $5 at least. If you're not gonna subscribe, go up there, toss him $5 for the amount of work that he puts in. And again, including Joanne, Tyler, and all these people that come up, especially Joanne, every single day, staying up late nights with me. Possibly after this, I open up space with OC, hopefully, and other people and stuff. So go up there, toss $5, and let me figure out Heidi here.
Up there.
I don't know, we brought Prashana. It must be her connection. Not sure where she is. But, okay. John, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just thought the Thomas Massey thing today was fantastic news. It seems like he's well organized, and the fact that he's coming on X to speak about these things publicly is great news, and it's a shame that he's the only one that you really see in Congress. Again, the guy that I'm running against, Darren LaHood, takes AIPAC money. He pushes the vaccine on all his constituents. He said, if you don't get vaxxed, this pandemic will never end, and you'll never be able to go back to work. So that's the type of asshole he is. But yet people will probably still continue voting on him, but over the next couple weekends, I'll be driving to Rockford and Peoria. So if there's anybody in Illinois that wants to help get petitions signed to defeat rhino vaccinologist Darren LaHood, please follow me, message me, and I'll send you details on where we're going to be and how we're going to get signatures. Thanks, everybody.
Good luck to you, John. Hope it all goes well and be safe. Those AIPAC guys are pretty ruthless. Thomas Massey will be the first to tell you saw what happened with his wife, unfortunately, God rest her soul, just for exposing AIPAC and the fact that all congressmen had taken back money, end up getting their handlers as well. his babysitters. So
Yeah, at least you're pretty far ahead of the other ones. I'm scrolling because I know you followed me back. I'm scrolling through some of the Thailand. So you got that lovely Vivid guy talking about October 7th and all that, but we can save that for another day. But Tisha, did you want to jump in because you're always quick, and then we'll go to my guy William.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's obvious history repeats itself. I love that you guys brought up Operation Trust because there's a lot of people making money off selling that Q nonsense. Liz Grogan, she will never, ever mention Branson. Isn't that interesting? Why?
Yeah, because she went to his island.
She went to his island, absolutely.
hanging out with the Brockmans there, Sarah and Claire.
Yeah. She'll never bring it up. I tried to. I cornered her. She will not speak on it. I mentioned. I actually posted something below about the $500 billion for the Stargate project. That's below. If anybody wants to read about that. And I wanted to mention. I'm sure you guys know about this, but it's so crazy. That Trump decided to put back up the Albert Pike statue. Is that paying homage to the grandfather of Freemasonry? I don't know. Just throwing it up there. That's crazy. But to what Jonathan said earlier about doing something, Megan Walsh was in the room earlier, and she's starting a project called Better Ways, and just basically doing simple, keeping things better, and doing it in better ways locally, where you just help each other out, like giving a single mom a ride or whatever it is, just doing small things for the community to help each other out. So I just wanted to add those things in real quick. And what do you guys think of Albert Pike? I mean, is it obvious? Like, hello, like he's paying homage. I think so.
Made that Third World War prediction, besides the first two, and Trump's probably part of the self-fulfillment part of it. He's the one that's going to possibly get us into that ultimate Third World War. So this way, the Jews can end up building the third temple and get their Messiah here and wipe out 2/3 of humanity. So I don't know. There's probably some symbolism behind it, but everything Trump does is usually as a result of a directorate from above. He does as his paymasters tell him to do. So I don't really pay too much credence with what he says and does. Like, look at him right now, just squirming and worried and insulting people over the Epstein list, just completely losing credibility within his own base. Just from the way he's talking now.
100%. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
I have Morals and Dogma by Albert Pike, and I gotta admit, it is a pretty interesting book. Freemasonry was very popular in America in the 1860s all the way up to 1920s, 30s. The first skyscraper in Chicago was a Freemason building. So Freemasonry in America and the world is an interesting history in itself.
Yeah, agreed. All right, I think it was William, and then for Sean. Go ahead, William.
Hey, Truth, how are you? Great space here. I truly enjoyed listening to Sam Parker. First time I heard him, really good. I like how he doesn't just recite statistics and this and that, but he presents in a way where people who may be hesitant about telling others now not have just the confidence, but they're armed with the reality and the talking points, the logical conclusions presented, and I think they'll feel less alone. That's what the Jew wants. They want you to feel alone when bringing this up, and so I hope a lot of people hear that. I certainly did. Second thing, I don't know if y'all just know, 5-6 hours ago, the Cracker Barrel logo was sent through a Jew filter. Now, the new Cracker Barrel logo omits the white man with the barrel to the left and the words "old country store" have been omitted. Don't want that. I mean, you walk into a store, old country store, You're not going to expect to see some blue-haired, cuffed-out lady, pierced-up tattoo, doesn't give a shit. And, of course, the CEO of Cracker Barrel is a Jewess, Julie something. And, unbelievable. And one final thing. If anyone has information on this, I have this theory that David Portnoy and Michael Rappaport are the same Jew. So if anyone has information on that, please forward it to me. Anyway, great space, and that's it. I land there.
They probably have common ancestry, maybe the same grandparents, great-grandparents were only inbreeding, that's why they look similar. They're separate people for sure. Rather than can act and somehow they made it, I think Rappaport is more dependent on getting his Soros funding. This way he can promote Israel all the time and deny things like apartheid. Whereas Portnoy is just a nut job, man.
You see, Michael Rappaport's herpes sore on his lip has infected over 8,000 people.
Sure, it's not 6 million. Is that for real, John? 8,000?
At a minimum. I mean, I'm just making a joke.
Yeah, don't stare at it too long on your phone screen or
Herpes on her lip. She claims to have brain damage from it. She does.
Look how the room went down to 492 people after that DDoS attack. That was wild. I've never seen that on X before.
I've seen it get much higher, like 50, 60,000 in big spaces.
Yeah, I guess we're not that big of a deal yet. We'll work our way up.
7,000 to 8,000 bot attack. That's respectable though. That's that's nothing to sneeze at. You're definitely you're onto something there.
So how do you, let me ask you a question. How do you defend against being labeled a Jew hater, anti-Semite, knowing that if Israel wants to stop any type of American organizing in terms of stopping funding, stopping weaponry? I mean, basically the status, a lot of people want the status quo to stay the same. So I'm just wondering, how do you defend against being labeled, anti-Semitic?
Talking about the country or a person?
Here as a person here on Spaces, doing, patriotic activities, because, if you believe that 9/11 was an inside job or a cover-up or a Mossad operation, or you believe all the subsequent wars and all the spending was a plot to essentially protect Israel from Saddam Hussein, from Gaddafi, from all these people that wanted to destroy Israel, I'm just wondering, how do you, as an American who is a patriotic American firster, how do you defend against the label of being anti-Semitic?
Well, first of all, you can't worry about being called a name. That's number one. I get called a Nazi, anti-Semite, Jew hater, a racist, probably or some combination every day, literally every day. You have to, number one, not be worried about it or let it phase you. Although I do acknowledge that if it's new for you, it will be jarring, it will be dispiriting, it might hurt a little bit, because most people have good hearts and nice people, and they don't, want to be called these vile smears, quote unquote vile smears. But number one, you just got to be tough, and who cares what they call you? Just like when you're a kid, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's number one. Number two, if somebody calls you a Jew hater, there's different ways of dealing with that. One way you can deal with it is like, name the Jews I hate. Like, if you're in a conversation or somebody accuses you of being a Jew hater, say, name the Jews I hate. Put them on the spot. Tell them to tell you and list the Jews that you hate. And they won't be able to, probably. Does anybody really hate, like, Stan Lee? I mean, maybe some hardcore anti-Semites and white nationalists maybe hate Stan Lee, the comic strip, artist, the comic creator, Fantastic Four, X-Men, these types of things. I mean, does anybody hate Stan Lee? Does anybody hate William Shatner, Captain Kirk, or I mean, maybe some people do, but there's, the point is like, do you hate Jews, or do you disapprove of certain actions and behaviors, right? So if somebody accuses you of being a Jew hater, just say, okay, name the Jews I hate. And that usually shuts them up. That's the strategy. There are others. but you'll figure it out as you go. If they call you, and by the way, everybody should remember this if you don't know it. If you get called a Nazi, a Jew hater, an anti-Semite, a fascist, a Holocaust denier, a Hamas supporter, a terrorist, or half a dozen other names, these all just mean that Jews don't like you. That's what it means, right? And that if you oppose Jews or Jewish, strike out, cry out pain as they, strike out, cry out pain as they attack. That's what they're doing when they call you those things, right? So, you just can't be fake.